Tutorial time! Dance, Gavin, dance. Happiness. Okay, this song is in standard tuning. That's an E. Intro. Guitar 1. Here we go. So this intro is made up of 4 quite easy chords. So the first one, this one here, which is a C, which is 3rd fret on your A string, and an E flat, which is the C's minor 3rd on your D string, which is your 1st fret. So your first chord is that. And rhythm wise, we have 2 groups of 4 and then a 1. So these are 16th notes, so we end up with 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's your first chord. Your second chord follows suit, which is a 5 and a 5. Okay, on your A and D string. Rhythm, same again. 1, 2, 3. Your third chord is an A flat major 7. So we have an A flat on your E string, which is your 4th fret. And then we have a G on your D string, which is your 5th fret. So we have those notes for that third chord, and your final chord is a G7. Okay, so we have a G, we have an F, and we have a B. And that's it for the first guitar. When we put all those together, we get this. Okay, so those chords aren't too difficult. I think the most awkward part is being able to strum them quick enough without getting any open strings involved, so you've got to get your muting sorted so that you can kind of whack away at the strings but only hear the 2 notes, so we want those dead notes. And again, fingering just whichever ones you want, really. Not that important. Okay, so that is guitar 1, and then guitar 2 for your intro is played using harmonics. So if you're not familiar with harmonics, a harmonic is a non-fretted note. We just play it very lightly with, I find this squeegee part of your finger just there. Provides a better harmonic than the tougher end part of your finger. So a harmonic is, instead of fretting a note, you just lightly touch the string directly over the fret you need to play. So the harmonics for this first part are 12, 7 and 5, so we end up with, and we have 3 on each of those, and played together. Okay, these work better with a lot more gain or more distortion. Ooh, that's quite a lot. Maybe not that much. Okay, so they work a lot easier with more distortion on. And the pattern goes twice round those. And then your third pattern, we just do 7. That's it. And then the last one, we do 4 7s, 4 5s, and a 7. Okay, so the intro part all together, all 4 times. I'm assuming this is Will's part. He seems to do most of the lead stuff. So we have and there we go. That's your 2 guitar parts for the intro. Okay, so next up is your verse. So this is made up of 4 chords. Okay, so your first chord is this one here, these 2 bars. We have an 8, an 8, and a 7. So 8 on your E string, 8 on your D string, and 7 on your G. And this whole song, I think this entire song is in threes. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's all in 3/4. So your strumming pattern is going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And throughout pretty much all of this, it's a hit and miss as to whether he mutes or doesn't mute the last few notes. So, for example, this first part in the tab, I've done 3 strums and then 2 muted notes. So, okay, but that's not always the case. So just kind of improvise around it. Or again, you could listen to the song and work out exactly what he does and when he does it, but that's a lot of effort. So there you go. So that's your first chord. Your second chord is here. Okay, so we have 6 on your A, 8 on your D, 7 on your G, and then 6 on your B. So I would do that, I would bar the 6s and then get those 2 fingers on for your other notes. So chord wise, that's like E flat major 7 with an added 9th. So an E flat major 7 add 9. That's your second chord, so putting those together. Okay, and then your third chord, this one here. So this one is actually the middle part of an A flat major 7 chord. Okay, only there's kind of no A flat root note down here in it. But the bass fills that out, making it an A flat major 7. Anyway, we have 4, 5, 5, so it's a bit like an A minor chord shape, moved up to that 4th and 5th fret. Then you get your little finger, pinky finger, and stick it on a 6 on your A string. For that one, and then your final chord, which is like an F7, again with an added 9th on. Okay, so that one is 8, 7, 8, 8. And that's your 4 chords. That is the whole of that verse section. So it's like a C minor 7 add 9. Like an E flat major 7 add 9. A flat major 7. Like an F7 add 9. And it kind of trundles along through that until it gets to the little break section afterwards. But before we do that, the other guitar does some lead stuff, which is actually all really quite basic. So I don't think I need to go through much of that because there's nothing particularly challenging about it. It kind of plods through, just picks through some chords. That's kind of it. In fact, I'm not going to do that bit because if you look in the tab, it's all very, very simple stuff. So I'll let you work that out. I'll put a link to the tab in the description, even though it's on the screen, and you can find the tab on my cover video as well. So yeah, you can work that one out. So back to that break section. Okay, so these are made up of, again, a few chords. So these first 3 notes make up your first chord, which is like that A flat major 7 add 9, which is akin to this chord we did down here, but up there. So we just pick through those notes, and your next chord, okay, is that one there. So 8, 8, and 8. Again, quite straightforward. And then this last one is probably your most awkward one because it's got a bit of a weird stretch in it. So essentially what we have is 10, 11 and 12 on your first, second and third string, and then root note is right down here on a C on your 8th fret on your low E string. So that's your chord. Bit of a stretch, but again, not too awkward. And then we pick through that. Okay, so next up is your chorus. Again, this is just made up of 4 relatively simple chords. They go like this. Okay, so you have options with these chords. I played them in 2 different places. It's the same chords, but you have options, and some I like to vary it because it gets a little bit boring just playing the same chords over and over again. So your first one is an A flat major 7, right up here on the 11th fret. So we go 11, 13, 12, 13, and again it's the 3-beat rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 for that first chord. Your second chord is almost very similar to the one we do in the verse. Okay, that's sort of F7 add 9 chord, only we're moving that 7 down to a 6, making it an F minor 7 add 9. Okay, that's your first 2. Your next one I've tabbed out here, which is a C minor 7. And your last chord is that E flat major 7 add 9, same as the one we do in the verse. And that's it for that chorus. So all together, in the ways that they are tabbed out, we have that third chord goes on for 3 bars, then we have 1 bar of that last chord, so it's 3, and then 1 bar of that one. That's important. Don't know why I missed that, but never mind. Okay, alternative ways of playing these chords. Instead of doing your first chord, your A flat major 7 as it's tabbed, we can use a C shape, which I think sounds quite nice. Which is 11, 10, 8, 8. You can stick an 8 on top as well if you want. Okay, and your second chord, that can stay the same. Now your C minor 7, instead of going there, we can do a regular C minor 7 with your A minor 7 shape on your 3rd fret. So bar your 3rd fret, and we'll get those 2 fingers on. And then your last chord, still do as is tabbed. Okay, so you have options there. Again, these are the chords that are in it, and you can play them wherever you want, really. Over the top of that, we have the lead part, which again is really quite straightforward. As far as dance coming dance lead goes, it's not that difficult. So this one kind of goes through. Just a 13 and a 15, like power chords, the 5th chord, on your B and E string. So that's your first part there. And then this last part goes 15, I'll do just the 1 bar, that'd help. 15, 11, 13, okay, and that one. And then we have 2 bars of, it goes 11, and then 13 and 12, followed by these 3 notes on the end. So altogether, the lead for that chorus, quite straightforward. And yeah, that's it. I think it goes 3 times through that. Very slight variation on the last one. We just moved to 15s on the end instead of your that section. And yes, that is it for that part. Now the rest of the rhythm guitar just goes through all the verse chords again, so you go through excuse me, yeah, the whole of that first part. So okay, nothing really changes much there, and then at the end we're back through your chorus again with your so your rhythm part just goes through that. Now the lead part kind of meanders on a few little chords for a minute, and then it starts building up, and it moves to another quite awkward portion with that sort of muted gallopy rhythm that Will likes to do quite a lot. So your first part, there are kind of 2 main parts to this that vary slightly. So your first part is this bit here. Okay, so we start off with a 5 on your G, again that's a C. Then you have your E flat, your 4th fret on your B string. And that high note moves up to 4, 6, 8, 4, 6, 8, but the 5 stays where it is. So all of this first part, we go. Okay, that's the main thing to get, and then between each of those, we get your your little gallopy, clicky notes. Okay, and then all that changes is these notes just move around slightly. So your second part, your next 2 bars, goes pretty much the same thing. Still the same rhythm with your clickies, only your notes go 7 and 8, so 7 on your G, 8 on your D. And then those 2 notes are the same afterwards, 6 and 8, but your common note is your 7 in this one. So putting those 2 parts together, those 2 parts there, then jump to this one. Again, it's kind of up to you how you finger it, which fingering you use for it, but yeah, you could play that one a bit like a chord, like I did there. But again, you should be able to work out what works best for you. So it goes through that, then it goes back to that first one. And then there's a little break on the end where we go. Just 2 notes, 7 on your D, 8 on your G. Okay, and that plods along a couple of times round and does the same thing there. Very slight variation on the end. Okay, apart from that, nothing too different. And then your next time round, it just changes slightly. So first bit's the same. And then your next time, this bit here is where it changes a bit. Okay, so your higher notes, you move back to that 7 again, and we do 6, 8, and 6. So okay, rhythm's the same, picking's the same, you're just changing those notes. So that second half, then, okay, and that is followed by just picking through some chords. Okay, so these, I would do that with a little bar across the 8s and do the 10. Then your next one here, I would do that. And and then move your pinky finger back to a 10. And we get that part. Okay, so that's the difference with the second time. It kind of builds up a bit more and gets a bit more aggressive. And then it repeats that again, but with a slide out of that chord at the end. Okay, so that's the whole break and the build-up part, both guitars. After that, like I say, it goes back through your chorus again with your chords and same lead part as before, and that does all of that. And then to finish off, we go back to the intro part with the harmonics. So you're back through all that section again, and then we finish off just on that first chord 2 times. Suppose you could play it up here, because then you can get the slide out a bit better. So you do your C and your E flat on 8 and 6 on your E and A string instead. To finish. And there we go. That is Happiness by Dance Gavin Dance. So enjoy, and I will see you next time for some more tutorial time. Happiness. Too happy. By the way, I've done your guitar, Ricky. It's thoroughly tested. Feels nice. I thought I'd use it for a video. Because I'm a dick. It's not.